Hi, welcome to the channel. I found this operating system pretty much by accident, I guess you might say. Mini operating system Linux. I'd been using RescueZilla, which has an operating system that had came from Ubuntu, and I was just wanting something. Different. It throws some errors, and I know when they've cut Ubuntu down to make it work for their purpose. But I wanted something that worked really smooth, kind of like Linux Mint. And by the way, I'm running Linux Mint right down here. See right down here in the left corner. I'm not trying to be hypocritical. I didn't want to go through the ordeal of downloading OBS on the MiniOS. And I don't want to download too much stuff until I decide how I'm going to use it, because I don't want to make it a heavy operating system when now it's a good light operating system. But I found this kind of by accident. I was thinking about mini operating systems, and I've looked at several of them, and most of them I don't really care much for. And I like this one here because it has and RescueZilla is a good program, and it works well. But as far as I could find, it didn't have a disk checker in it to check disk health, and this one does. See, here's G-Smart Control. This one has a lot of the stuff on it that I like in the Double Commander. Of course, you can download some of that stuff, but one thing I was going to have trouble with is I don't know how they installed RescueZilla on this, but they did, because I haven't done a lot of looking, but I really haven't found a way or seen anybody that actually installed this as an app. I never looked into it close either. But I found this, and somebody had already done the work for me. A lot of the programs that I've already wanted for disk rescue and for cloning, and I think I found it right here, and I'm very happy with it so far. But they have left out the installer as we know it. Maybe that was to keep it. Maybe that was to make it, so it wouldn't be bloated. It wouldn't make it any bigger. But installing this, to me, was a pretty big ordeal until you understand it. And it's like about everything. When you understand it, it's not that bad. I'm going to bring this up. Okay. Here's the steps that I have for installing this. Okay, in case you want to screenshot it or something. That's the steps that I've got. I'm going to try to follow, hopefully close to that right there. And we're going to go ahead and bring this back down and drag it over to my other monitor for now. We'll drag this out of the way. Another thing I want to show you before we get too far into this, here is the passwords, okay, for this operating system. Let me see here. Should be a way to pull this down, isn't there? Yeah. There's a way to pull that down. Okay, if you're hunting for the username and passwords, here they are. The username equals live. The password is evil. This is not a religious statement. It's the backward spelling of live. Same with the root password. It's the opposite of root, which is TOOR. Which makes it Tor or something like that, I guess. And the host name is a MiniOS. And so this here is very important if you are wanting to use this. Try to swallow them up good so you can see them. And this is the one I use right here when I go into Gparted and RescueZilla and so forth. This right here to let me in. So I wanted to show that so I did not forget. I'm going to, hopefully, if I remember, here's the links that I read, the knowledge I got on doing this. Right here, the web links that I read after. I'll try to remember to post them in the description, because if I go through all of them and show you those, this video will be long, and I don't want it to be long. Okay, we're going to get into this. I like this little mini operating system. Right now I'm in Linux Mint, but I'm going to show you how to download this and hopefully install it. Okay, and I already have a Jumpdrive plugged in. It is not showing up. Yes, right here it is. Here's my little Jumpdrive right here. It's because I had MiniOS on it before and I deleted it to show you what I did right here. Okay, so let's get straight into this. Let's go to Firefox and let's go to the MiniOS website, which is MiniOS.dev. And there's several downloads you can choose from here, and I like this one here is one I was using. You can get those that even have the Office suite in it. But you can see that's only a 713 megabyte, and it said it could show up bigger than that, but I'm pretty sure the ISO was right there. I've got it already downloaded, but I'll go ahead and, for the sake of it, of video, I'll do it here. And there it is downloading now. I got the maximum. There were several of them there to download from. And hopefully this doesn't take too long. If it does, I can pause the video and start it back. But I don't think it'll take very long. Now this boots fine in Ventoy. Hope I can remember as much stuff as I need to tell you here, but this will boot fine with Ventoy. It runs good with Ventoy. And if you boot this after installing it to the Jumpdrive with an ISO writer, you need to run it as legacy instead of UEFI. Run it as legacy because it should be MBR as far as I know. I know the first time I run it like this, Ventoy runs it fine in UEFI, but when I just installed it with this, I had to run it in legacy. Okay, let's see if we can find this now. We've done that part. Okay. Downloads. There is the ISO file right here. The mini operating system from Bookworm, Debian, XFCE desktop maximum, and you can write it with any ISO writer of your choice. As far as I'm concerned, I'm going to go ahead and use the Linux Mint writer, the USB image writer. So I'm going to choose that. Downloads. In my downloads directory, put open here. Okay. Now then we're going to find a USB stick. That's my camera card. So we want to go to that. We want to go to the SanDisk. And we want to write. So we're going to write right here. I've got to put in my password. And hopefully this doesn't take too long. Now, like I say, once this is written, people say they had trouble booting here, but it would boot in a virtual box and it would boot with Ventoy. But I think where they made their mistake is they need to boot it this way. In the state that it's in now, they need to boot it as legacy. If I remember right, that's what I did to get it to boot. The first time I went to like UEFI, and it didn't boot properly. It didn't boot. So if you're going to boot it this way, okay, successfully written. Okay, good. Now let's go to okay, so here it is. All right. If you boot it right like this, you have to remember to, like I say, boot it in legacy. What we have to do is pull this. Let's open this. See, the boot is in there. So what we need to do is pull this folder out. Okay, you can use it like this, but you can't write to it. What you need to do is pull this folder out. Alright. At first I tried doing that in here and it didn't work. Now what we need to do is we need to delete all of these right here, these ones that's here. And we're just going to delete all of them. I wonder why my delete is not showing. Okay, it doesn't matter. What we have to do at this point, we've got that setting up there. What we need to do is go to USB. We want to go to USB stick formatter. Alright. And we're already set on the SanDisk. And you want to go with Fat32. At least do it this way the first time. If you go, what I want to do is go to exFAT, because at least then, by going to exFAT, you'd be able to handle larger files. But when I did that, my Windows didn't want to run the batch file, and I'll get into all that later. But for right now, go ahead and format it as Fat32. Okay, format this right here, because it's supposed to drag this to the root directory, and I'll show you more later. Go ahead and format that right there. Put in your password. Okay, that's successfully formatted to Fat32. I know that's weird. Why ain't ext4? I've tried other ones and I could not get them to work. I tried it this way and it did work well. Okay, let's see if we can find. Here's the USB stick, and there it is. Okay, now what we need to do is drag this to our root directory. Okay, right here. Drag this back over into your root directory, right like that. Okay. Drag that over there. Now this should be Fat32 MBR, and what their file that they got on here does is change it. Maybe it changes it to GPT, I don't know, but when you get done here, you need to boot it in GPT to keep that error down from saying it's an unknown format or whatever that little error is. Once we get done here, if you reboot it in Legacy, it will give you an error. But we'll let this write, and I'll show you what we need to do next. Okay, it's just about done writing here. And okay, now what we need to do is open this folder and open the boot folder. Okay, you got two files you can do this with, alright? Here's the issue. Linux will not let me run this one. Maybe you guys that's smart can tell me what's wrong, but Linux will not run that. Alright? it's like a batch file for Linux, and it will not. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. If you right click here and put open in a terminal, and if you put in a /boot install sh permission denied, I'll show you that hopefully here. And I can put in super user do. I've tried all. I cannot get it to do it. The only way I've been able to get this to do this is by taking it to Microsoft Windows, unfortunately. Microsoft Windows, and running this batch file right here. And here's what it looks like. Okay, here's what it looks like. Let's take a look at that. Those of you that know batch files, you understand this probably more than I do. I'll try to swallow it up a little bit here for you. Okay. If you will take this disk now to Microsoft Windows, okay, plug it into a Windows computer, open up to here, and double click on this. When you get done, it'll run its course, and you should have it should be a green window in the batch file, and when it runs the program, the batch program, it'll be green, and if it shows red, then it's probably had some kind of a problem. One time I had it to turn red, and it went ahead and worked. But then once that gets done, you'll be able to save stuff to it. But unless you go through this process, when you change your wallpaper and reboot it, it'll go right back to the other wallpaper. But if you take this Jumpdrive over there, it will allow you then, it will be officially installed on this Jumpdrive. You'll be able to save your changes to whatever you want, your changes in Firefox, your changes in wallpaper, your changes in your desktop, whatever changes that you make should be saved. And I haven't really got into the configure file yet, but they say that you can maybe change that. I'm not going to comment on that because I haven't really got into that yet. But I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's done, because I've got the other one over here. All right, so we're going to eject this one when I can find it. Okay, USB stick. We're going to eject this one because I've got one here that I did take to Windows, and it is complete. This is once you run that batch file in Windows, and then you take this back to any computer that you want to take it to. You can see where it's been in Windows because it's got that volume information on it. But see, it adds the EFI folder. Now this is ready to boot, and it'll boot raw from your boot screen right in your UEFI. And once it boots, you'll have your MiniOS system, and you can make your changes and save your wallpaper and stuff. And I didn't put this in a virtual box. I don't really care for virtual boxes that much. I just wanted to give you a rundown on how I did it. If you try this, you try it at your own risk. A lot of things that I do from trial and error. But I did actually get this to work, and I've done it 2 or 3 times, so I know it works, at least for me, in the process that I put on it. And I can't really remember anything right now else that I need to tell you. Let me see. Let me get my list out and see if I forgot anything. I don't think I forgot anything. So thanks for watching this video, and if you try this, let me know in the comments if it worked right, and maybe you can let me know why that batch file for Linux isn't running. Why does it keep saying that the permissions denied? I have a lot of trouble with permissions in Linux. I don't really know why. I mean, I use my passwords. I'm the one that owns the system, the computer. I'm the administrator, so I don't know why. If you have answers to that, maybe you can tell me. Maybe you can tell me what that batch file does to that disk that changes the MBR in such a way that you can actually save your programs on it. And then when I leave here, I'm going to put these links up so you can look at this information where I got it. And you can read some of them, and you can see how I decided. I know a lot of the videos I've seen on YouTube, people said nope, it can't be installed because it's just running on the Jumpdrive, but it can be installed. I've done it, and I've showed you how to do it. And now then you can clone it to another computer hard drive, or I suppose you can take the hard drive out and hook it to a USB port with the cable and do the same thing, or clone it from here once you get the finished product. However you want to do that, that would be up to you. But when this worked, I was really happy about it. I actually got it to work. I didn't think I would. It seemed like the instructions isn't really clear. At least it wasn't to me. But I trialed and errored it until it did work. Okay, thanks for watching. Please come back to the channel anytime you like. And we appreciate your comments so much if you have comments on this. So hopefully see you another time.